Christians don't love or fear God. It's manifest in their actions or lack thereof. Same is true of most of the Torah movement. They don't love or fear God either, though they claim to. See, Christians don't love or fear God. If they loved God, they'd keep his 10 commandments. If they feared God, they'd keep his 10 commandments. If Christians loved God, they wouldn't celebrate Christmas and Easter. They would toss out that Christmas tree and they'd get the name of Baal, hippie Christmas TV Jesus, out of their apostate mouth. They would keep the 10 commandments cheerfully, and they would communicate often by teaching others to keep the 10 commandments. The Torah movement's not really much different, because if they loved God, if they feared God, they would have gotten the covetousness out of their heart that is driving them to keep the biblical feasts, even though we're commanded not to do the feasts outside of the land. Certainly not to do them with an inaccurate, polluted calendar. And certainly not to do them during a time of mourning and woe. So Christians don't fear or love God as represented by their abject disobedience and hatred for the law of God. And the Torah movement can't seem to figure out how to love or fear God faithfully because they don't do or keep the full instruction of Jehovah. They've become presumptuous. They suffer that woman Jezebel, which is one of the reasons why so many of them do the feasts, because often they've got someone in their family or someone in their life that they're trying to please, and they've replaced the biblical pagan holidays, the non-biblical pagan holidays, with the biblical feasts that have been taken off the table because God's people have forsaken the Holy Covenant, and the world is outside of covenant, the covenant being the marriage vows, the 10 commandments. So don't be fooled by these people who tell you they keep the 10 commandments, just like the rich young ruler who said he kept those commandments ever since his youth. But was he being honest? No. He had much or many possessions, and therefore he did not take up his staff of authority and follow the Messiah. And neither has this Torah movement. And certainly neither has the apostate Christian church, who say things like, Jesus is God and the Son of God is not God. They say things like, Jesus is my Sabbath, when the Messiah is not the Sabbath. The Messiah is the Lord or the Master of the Sabbath. And there still remaineth a Sabbath for the children of God. Hebrews chapter 3 and 4 declares that there still remains a Sabbath. It's not been done away with. The commandment for the Sabbath is there from the beginning. It predates the golden calf incident, as the Sabbath day was reminded of at Horeb, when the children of Israel orally agreed to keep the 10 commandments. And the seventh-day Sabbath is not associated with the sacrificial law, which was added for transgression and which has been finished. Yeshua Messiah finished the sacrificial law. He magnified the royal law, which is to love thy neighbor as you love yourself, which means to teach the Ten Commandments and correct those when they are in error. And he finished the sacrificial law. That's why he said, it is finished. Deuteronomy 31, 24 through 26. Handwritten ordinances written by Moses and placed on the side of the ark were finished at Calvary, but not the Holy Covenant. That was refreshed. Acts 3, 19 through 26. Quoting Deuteronomy 18, 15 through 19. Also Isaiah 28, 12. Isaiah 42, 21 to 22. These are the times of refreshing. He magnified the law and made it honorable. That's why we don't offer up animal sacrifices, neither do we stone people in their sin. But Messiah says, go and sin no more. The Apostle Paul says, awake to righteousness and sin not. Basically, awake to righteousness and keep the Holy Covenant. And my brothers and sisters at straightasthegate.net are declaring the same things as Messiah, as the Apostle Paul, as all the apostles, as did all the prophets, and you hate the truth.